Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Okey, so apa khabar semua? So hari ini kita sambung lagi kuliah kita berkenaan dengan bagi kursus elektrik circuit 2 iaitu chapter 5 AC power analysis. Okey, so sebelum ni kita dah discuss berkenaan dengan instantaneous and average power, effective or RMS value, apparent power and power factor dan juga complex power. Kita dah discuss dalam video sebelum ni. So, ni adalah video terakhir bagi chapter 5. So, kita akan bincang berkenaan dengan 5.5 iaitu conservation of AC power dan power factor correction. Okay? Okay, so mula-mula kita akan discuss berkenaan dengan conservation of AC power. Okay? So, conservation of AC power. So, mula-mula kita lihat berkenaan dengan circuit selari atau parallel circuit. Okay. Kita akan prove berkenaan dengan conservation of AC power dalam parallel litar selari dan litar sesiri. Okay. So, mula-mula kita tengok berkenaan dengan litar selari. Okay, litar selari, let's say we have a voltage. Let's say we have a voltage. Okay, we have voltage across Z1 and Z2. Okay, so we can determine complex power. Okay, we can determine complex power by complex power of Z1 and Z2. Okay, so in order to determine complex power, we must determine current and voltage for each load. Okay, so in this case, okay, we have a voltage V across Z1 and Z2, so we can determine current. Okay, from the Kirchhoff current law. So at this node, so I equal to I1 plus I2. Okay, this is based on Kirchhoff current law. So S, so complex power equal to VI conjugate. Okay, S from the source, okay, equal to V times I conjugate. So equal to V, I equal to I1 plus I2. Okay, so I conjugate equal to I1 conjugate plus I2 conjugate. So, okay, by solving this equation, so we can get V times I conjugate plus V times I2 conjugate. So, V times I1 conjugate plus V times I2 conjugate. Say this one equal to complex power of the Z1. And this one equal to complex power of the Z2. So we can write as, okay, complex power of the supply equal to summation of complex power, okay, of the Z1 plus complex power of the Z2. Okay, this is for parallel circuit. Okay, which is we can see that total complex power of the source, okay, this is a total complex power of the source equal to the total complex power of the load. Okay, equal to the total complex power of the load. Okay, this is for parallel circuit. Okay, so yang kedua kita tengok untuk series circuit, kita proof betul tak dia punya konsep ni. Okay, let's say we have a V, okay, V and then connected to the Z1 and Z2. So we know that voltage V equal to V1 plus V2. Okay, V1 plus V2. Okay, according to Kirchhoff voltage law. So as complex power, okay, supplied by the source equal to V times I conjugate. Okay, we have kita ada current yang sama through Z1 dengan Z2. Current dia sama. Okay, because series circuit. Tapi dia punya voltage dia tak sama V1 tak sama dengan V2. Okay, so voltage, okay, V equal to, kita masukkan equation yang ni, V1 plus V2 times I conjugate. So kita solve this equation, so equal to V1 times I conjugate plus V2 times I conjugate. So V1 I conjugate equal to, okay, voltage across Z1 times current equal to complex power of the load 1. Okay, V2, okay, look at to the Z2, V2 equal to voltage across Z2 times I conjugate equal to S2. So, untuk litar sesiri, series circuit, so complex power supplied by the source equal to summation of S1 plus S2. So, daripada analisa yang kita buat ni, so kita dapat rumuskan bahawa total complex power supplied by the source sama ada litar selari, parallel circuit or series circuit, okay, dia sama je. Okay, total power supply by the source equal to total power of the load. Tak kisah sama ada siri ataupun parallel. Okay, so sekali lagi saya ulang. The total power, total complex power of the sources equal to the total complex power of the loads. Okay, tak kisah sama ada litar selari ataupun litar sesiri. Series circuit or parallel circuit. Buktinya kita dah proof ni. Kita dah proof bagi 2 litar ni. Okay, so kita tengok example. Okay, macam mana kita nak apply konsep conservation of complex power. Okay, let's say look at to example 5. Okay, find the total complex power supplied by the source to the 3 loads. Okay, sekarang kita ada 3 load, load 1, load 2 and load 3. Okay, so the question is, what is the total complex power supplied by the source? Okay, so first of all, what you need to do, so apa yang kamu perlu buat adalah kamu perlu cari complex power for each load. Okay, complex power for load number 1. Okay, this is a load number 1. Okay, P equal to 100, Q equal to 0. So S1 we can write 100 plus J0 VA. Okay, this is a complex power in rectangular form. Okay, number 2, then you can determine complex power consumed by load 2. This is a load number 2. Load number 2 adalah RL. Okay, L. So P equal to 200, Q equal to 700, positive because of inductive load. Okay, because of inductive load. So S2 equal to 200 plus J 700 volt ampere. And then complex power consumed by load 3, because this is a load 3. So load 3, this is a load 3. P equal to 300, Q equal to 1500. Okay, but we have a C load. We have a capacitive load. So capacitive load, complex power P plus, dia akan jadi plus minus Q. So minus Q akan jadi negatif lah. So 300 minus J 1500 volt ampere. Okay, so when you have a S1, complex power 1, S2 and S3, so total complex power consumed by the load, okay, based on conservation of complex power, total complex power supply equal to total complex power consumed by the load. So what is the total complex power consumed by the load? Equal to summation of S1 plus S2 plus S3. Sorry, this one S3. This one S3, typo. This one S3. So S equal to S load equal to S1 plus S2 plus S3. So tambah semua ni, kita akan dapat total. Okay, total complex power of the load. Okay, ni dalam rectangular form, ini dalam polar form. Okay, so kalau kita draw dia punya power triangle, so kita akan dapat Q, because Q negative, so Q ke bawah. Okay, this is a P, this is a Q, this is a S. Magnitude equal to 1000. Okay, so question is, find the total complex power supply. Okay, so based on conservation of energy, conservation of complex power, so total complex power supply by the source equal to 600 minus J 800 volt ampere. Okay, example 5. Okay, next look at to example 6. Okay. The 6, okay. Okay, we have a circuit, voltage supply, resistor, okay. We have a capacitor, we have a inductor connected with resistor. So the resistor 60 ohms resistor. The 60 ohm resistor, where is the 60 ohm resistor? This is a 60 ohm resistor. Okay, absorb 240 watt of average power. Okay, watt maksudnya active or real power or average power. This is a P ya. This is a P, we call it P. Okay, real power. Okay, this resistor consume or absorb 240 watt. Okay, so the question is number 1, calculate V. Calculate V. Okay, what is V? And the complex power of each for each branch. Number 1. Okay, kita mesti calculate V dengan complex power for each branch, maksudnya complex power pada resistor ni, pada branch 20 ohm for this branch and this branch. Okay, and then number 2, find the total complex power. Okay, first of all, look at to the question number 1. Okay, we need to draw the phasor domain. Ingat lagi nak draw phasor domain. Okay, sekarang ni soalan dia dah bagi letak dia dalam phasor domain. Okay, so this is a phasor domain. Okay, so let's say this one we call it I. Okay, this is I. This is I1. This is I2. Okay. Okay, let's I2 to be current through the 60 ohm. Okay, current through the 60 ohm. We know that P equal to I square R. P equal to I square R. Okay, P absorbed by 60 ohm. Okay, 60 ohm equal to 240. Okay, resistor equal to 60. So from this equation, we can determine I, magnitude of current. Okay, so I equal to 2 amp. Okay, equal to 2 ampere because we have P 240. We have R equal to 60. Okay, so we can determine current. Current equal to 2 ampere. Then we consider current as a reference. Apa maksud current as a reference? Okay, angle dia adalah kosong. Okay, kosong. 2 angle 0. So this one ampere. This is RMS value because formula ni adalah P equal to I RMS square R. Okay, that's why current dia adalah RMS value. Okay, so we have a current I2 and then we need to determine in order to determine complex power for this branch, we need to determine voltage. Okay, of course, according to the Ohm's law, okay, to determine voltage across 60 plus J 20, so voltage equal to Z times I. Z times I, so we got V0, so V0 equal to this one, okay, RMS value. So then, okay, once we have a V0, we have a I, so after this we can determine S, okay, complex power. Okay, then we look at to the branch I1. Okay, how to determine I1? Okay, we have a voltage V0. Voltage V0 equal to voltage across this Z and this Z because parallel. Okay, because parallel. This Z 30 minus J10. Okay, so how to determine current? I1 equal to V0 divided by Z30 minus J10. Okay, dah dapat I1. So from I1, you can determine I. Okay, tengok kat lita ni adalah I. So I based on KCL, then you apply KCL equal to I equal to I1 plus I2. So you can get current. Okay, boleh follow kan? Jangan ada yang tertidur pula. Okay, so dah ada current. Once dah ada current, then you can determine voltage by using KVL. Okay, sekarang ni you dah ada V0. V0 ni kat sini sama je, dekat point ni adalah V0. Okay, this is a positive, this is a negative. and then you can apply KVL. So from KVL you can determine V. V equal to, okay, 20 ohm times I, okay, plus V naught. Okay, plus V naught equal to V. So solve yang ni kamu akan dapat voltage V ni adalah RMS RMS. Tak tulis pun tak apa, tapi kamu kena tahulah yang ni adalah voltage RMS because daripada awal-awal analisis tadi kita guna RMS value. So kamu dah dapat voltage V, so kamu boleh determine, sebab kamu nak determine power absorbed by 20 ohms resistor, so kamu kena determine voltage. Okay, voltage across 20 ohm resistor equal to IR. Okay, ataupun R times I. We have R 20 ohms times by current. Current is given. Current we already calculate this. This is a current I. Okay, so I. So we can get current, voltage RMS, and then we can determine complex power, because let's say this one we call it S3. So S3 equal to V times I conjugate. Okay, V times I conjugate, V times I conjugate. Okay, this is I. Okay, and then solve this one, dapat S3. Okay, complex power of the absorbed by 20 ohms resistor. Okay, next kita determine complex power untuk branch ni, 30 minus J 10 ohm. Okay, for 30 minus J 10 ohms impedance, okay, kita dah ada V. V kita dah calculate tadi equal to V naught. So I kita dah calculate. So let's say kita panggil dia adalah S1. So S1 equal to V naught times I conjugate. V naught times I conjugate. So dapatlah S1 dalam bentuk sama ada you can write in polar form or in rectangular form. Okay. Okay. Then for this load, let's say we call it load number 2, 60 plus J20 ohms impedance. Okay, kita dah ada current, kita dah ada voltage, so we can determine complex power of the load 2. Okay, S2 equal to V naught, voltage cross this Z, times I2 conjugate. So, you akan dapat ini. Tekan calculator betul-betul, kamu dapat ini. Okay, so boleh follow? Okay. So, then you can determine overall complex power. Kamu dah determine, okay, S for each branch, okay, this load, and this load. Then the next, you can determine overall complex power supplied by the source. Okay, we have a voltage V, and then we have a current. So S supply equal to VI conjugate. Okay, S supply equal to VRMS I RMS conjugate. Okay, this is a V supply. So based on conservation of energy, okay, power supply equal to power absorbed by the load. Okay, berapa power absorbed by the load? Complex power absorbed by the load. S load equal to summation of S1 plus S2 plus S3. So S1 plus S2 and plus S3. So we can kita akan nampak bahawa jumlah power dekat load sama dengan jumlah power pada source. Okay, dia sangat bertepatan dengan konsep conservation of complex power. Okay, sama. So the total power complex of the sources equal to the total complex power of the load. Okay, so okay, untuk conservation of complex power, untuk subtopik ini kita ada satu exercise. Okay, saya sediakan satu exercise. So, kamu boleh cuba jawab soalan exercise 3 ni untuk menguji kefahaman kamu. Okay, let's say, okay, we have two loads connected in parallel. We have a load number 1. For example, we have load number 1, which is P equal to 24 kilowatt, power factor equal to 0.8, lagging power factor. And then we have a load number 2, P equal to 40 kilowatt, power factor 0.95, lagging power factor. Okay, so the question is calculate the power factor of the two loads. Okay, power factor of the to load. First of all, you need to combine. Okay, and complex power supplied by the source. Let's say this is the source. Okay, what is the complex power of the source? Okay, S of the source. Okay, according to the conservation of complex power. So, exercise 3 ni kamu boleh try dulu. Nanti kita akan bincang dalam sesi tutorial. So, kamu boleh cuba exercise 3. Okay. Okay. Okay, itu saja untuk konsep conservation of complex power. So, the last subtopic for this chapter, okay, which is power factor correction. Okay, previously we know how to determine power factor, okay, equal to cos theta. So, how to improve the power factor? Because power factor limit from 0 to 1, okay, untuk utility, kita nak kalau boleh, power factor kita ada close to 1. Okay, kalau boleh, power factor kita close to 1, which is, kita punya load ni consume real power sahaja, kalau boleh. Tetapi, in practical, okay, kita tengok load contohnya, load dekat rumah kita, at domestic load, kita ada washing machine. Okay, for example, kita ada washing machine, kita ada aircon, kita ada fridge, okay. Kalau dekat industri, biasanya ada motor kan, ada motor yang saiznya besar dan sebagainya. So, in nature, okay, kita punya load ada inductor, ada inductive, ada winding ya, winding untuk induktif punya winding. So, of course, dia ada L. Okay, okay. Sometimes they are operate in low lagging power factor. Okay, so kalau kita punya power factor kita rendah, so utility ataupun TNB akan charge kita, dia panggil power penalty. Okay, penalty. Okay, so untuk avoid charge penalty ni, so kita kena improve power factor yang kita yang rendah tadi, low power factor, kita increase, okay, close to 1. Okay, macam mana nak increase kita punya power factor? Yang ni kita panggil power factor correction. Power factor correction. Because power factor correction basically is the process of increasing the power factor without altering the voltage or current to the original load. Okay, so kita increase power factor of the load, tetapi kita tak kacau dia punya nilai voltage and current, okay, origin load. Okay, dia punya nilai current yang pergi dekat load, nilai voltage yang pergi ke load, kita tak kacau. Okay, so disebabkan oleh, although the inductive nature of the load cannot be changed, okay, kita tak boleh ubah kan, kita punya mesin nak tukar dan sebagainya, yang tu dah fix. Okay, apa yang kita boleh buat, kita letak capacitor in parallel kalau kita nak improve power factor. So, we need to increase its power factor. Okay, macam mana nak increase power factor? Kita letak capacitor in parallel. Kita tengok contoh contoh power factor correction. Let's say we have a load, that's commonly inductive load lah, inductive load. Okay, inductive load, and then we have a voltage across load V, and current through the load we call it IL, for example. Okay, this is we call it original inductive load. Okay, let's say untuk original inductive load ni, kita punya power factor adalah rendah. Let's say rendah contohnya 0.7 lagging power factor. So, kalau kita punya power factor kita 0.7, okay, utility akan kenakan penalty, power factor penalty. Yang kita panggil adalah power factor penalty. Okay, ada certain amount yang kena bayar. Okay, sebab TNB perlu generate more energy ya. Okay, untuk support kita punya load. Okay, so ada penalty. So, apabila ada penalty, kalau boleh kita tak nak penalty ni, tak nak bayar penalty. Okay, so based on this Q, nak support this Q, reactive power. So, kita kena improve power factor. So, macam mana nak improve power factor? Kita kena tambah satu capacitor in parallel dengan kita punya load. Capacitor, dia punya Q adalah negative Q. Kita punya inductor, positive Q. So, positif dengan negatif dia akan compensate. So, kalau kita punya, apabila QL dengan QC compensate, dia akan cancel out. So, yang tinggal hanyalah P, reactive power. P, real power. Sebab Yang kita bayar bil dekat rumah kita adalah real power. Kita bayar P je. Kita punya bil dekat rumah adalah based on kilowatt hour. Kilowatt. Kilowatt maksudnya P. Okay, times dengan hour adalah energy yang kita guna, which is based on real power. Okay, ini adalah inductive load with improved power factor. Kita tambah capacitor in parallel. Apabila kita tambah capacitor, maksudnya akan ada satu current. Okay, current IC yang akan lalu dekat capacitor. So, total current kita akan berubah. Okay, total current supply by the source. Okay, V still lagi sama. So, total current kat sini, sebelum ni kita punya I sama dengan IL kan. Sekarang ni, kita punya I equal to IL plus IC. Okay, vector summation lah. Okay. So, kita tengok dia punya phasor diagram dulu. Let's say kita ada voltage. Okay, voltage as a reference. This is V as a reference. Voltage as a reference. Angle 0. And then kita ada IL. For inductive load, lagging power factor. Apa maksud lagging power factor? Current lags voltage. Okay, for inductive load. Okay, by angle theta lah. By angle theta 1. Okay. Apabila kita tambah capacitor, we add capacitor in parallel with the original load. So, capacitor current dia adalah positive angle 90 degree ya, compared to the voltage, because I equal to V over ZC. V over ZC, ZC angle minus 90 degree. So, IC akan jadi positif 90 degree. Kamu boleh tulis nanti. Okay. Okay, so IC. Kita tengok IC. Once kita dah tambah IC, berapa nilai current, new current? Ni adalah new current kita. Apabila kita tambah capacitor in parallel, so kita punya current kita, new current, new supply current, I akan lebih rendah. Yang ni I akan jadi lebih kecil. So, rating kita punya generator akan lagi kecil. Tu maksud tu kelebihan dia. This is a effect of adding capacitor in parallel with inductive load. Okay, apabila current lagi rendah, so dia punya size capacitor lagi, size generator lagi kecil ni yang kita perlu guna. Kalau tak, kita kena guna generator lagi besar. Apabila generator lagi besar, cost dia lagi tinggi. Okay, so the question is how to determine C value. Okay, berapa nilai C yang kita nak letak? Okay, how to determine the C value ataupun reactive power that we need to add in parallel with the original load. To the question, how to analyze. So dalam chapter ni kita akan analyze ataupun determine value of QC and C. Okay, so power triangle of the power factor correction. Okay, kita tengok dia punya power triangle. Okay, power triangle. Okay, P daripada mana P? Okay, untuk load ni. Okay, kita ada load dan kita ada C yang kita tambah dalam, kita tambah in parallel. Okay, so kita ada R. R dia consume P. Siapa yang consume P, real power? Adalah resistor. Okay, so without C, kita ada Q1. Kita panggil Q1. This is a Q1. Okay, due to the L, inductor. We call it Q1 ataupun QL. Okay, so we have a P, we have a QL. So, this is our triangle. Okay, let's say we call it apparent power equal to S1. Okay, this one for theta 1. Okay, this is a original power triangle without C, without adding capacitor. Let's say if we add a capacitor in parallel, maksudnya kita tambah satu nilai QC. Okay, original Q kita adalah equal to QL. Kalau kita tambah QC, so total kita punya Q reactive power akan menurun lah. Sebab QC adalah negatif. Okay, akan menurun. Apabila menurun, P kita still lagi sama. Sebab kita tak kacau nilai resistor. So, P consumer resistor still lagi sama. Tapi Q, total Q dah menurun because kita letak capacitor in parallel because capacitor supply negative Q. Okay. So total Q dia adalah menurun jadi Q2. So based on this triangle, so we have a S2 and theta 2. Okay, so from the power triangle, the new reactive power equal to Q2. This is a new reactive power after adding capacitor. So Q2 equal to, yang ni tak perlu hafal pun tak apa formula. This Q2 kamu boleh analyze according to the power triangle. Okay, for example, you have a P. Okay, so you can determine Q2 equal to P tangent theta 2. Okay, so how about reactive power? So the question is, what is the value of reactive power of the shunt capacitor? Shunt capacitor ataupun parallel capacitor. Okay, what is the value? Value of QC shunt capacitor, okay, equal to the difference between Q1 and Q2, which means QC equal to Q1 minus Q2. Sama kan? Q1 minus Q2 equal to QC from the power triangle. So that's the QC. So you can determine kV out of the shunt capacitor because the unit of QC equal to VAR, volt ampere reactive. Okay, so from the QC you can determine the value of shunt capacitor. Okay, because we know that QC equal to VRMS square divided by XC. Okay, we know that XC equal to 1 over omega C. 1 over omega C. So you solve this equation, then you can determine C. C equal to QC over omega divided by VRMS square. Kamu cuba derive yang ni. Because XC equal to 1 over omega C. And then solving for C. Then we determine the value of shunt capacitor. Okay. So boleh follow lagi? Okay, ada sikit lagi. So kita tengok example. Okay, example 7. Okay, example 7. Okay, for the circuit shown below, calculate the supply current. Okay, let's say kita ada circuit load, okay, P 120 kilowatt and then Q 160 kVAR. Okay, kilovolt ampere reactive. Determine the supply current. How to determine supply current? Okay, can you determine complex power of the load? So you can determine S of the S load. Yeah. Okay, because you know that S load equal to VRMS times IRMS conjugate. Then you can determine supply current because IL equal to I supply according to this circuit. Okay, look at the question number 1. Question number 1, determine the supply current. Okay, so we have VS. Okay, let's consider VS a reference. Is a reference, so VS equal to 600 angle 0. Okay, this is a RMS value. RMS value is given. So complex power supply to the load equal to SL equal to VRMS times IRMS conjugate. Okay, dan ini dapat dia punya SL. Okay. 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 Then we have P1 equal to 120 and Q1 equal to 160 kilovolt ampere reactive. So, in order to determine current, okay, we know that current equal to S divided by V conjugate. Okay, by solving this equation, okay, I conjugate equal to S divided by V, and then you got I conjugate, and then you can determine I. Okay, you can determine I. This is a RMS value of current. I conjugate equal to angle positive 51.3. So I from conjugate to non-conjugate, okay, we convert from positive become negative. Okay, this is a current, supply current. Supply current. So from the load you can draw the power triangle. Okay, we have a P, Q1 and S1 for example. Okay, then this is a theta. Theta equal to 53.13. Okay. Question number 2. Determine the reactive power needs to be supplied by a capacitor bank to increase power factor to unity. Power factor unity means power factor equal to 1. Okay, to achieve a power factor unity, we need to connecting a compensating reactive load in parallel with original load that cancels out the reactive power. Now, we have a reactive power of Q1 equal to 160 kVAR. Okay, in order to ensure our system, in order to ensure our power factor of the load of the system equal to 1, so we need to cancel out this Q. So which means we need to connect our load with the QC equal to 160 kilovolt ampere reactive. Okay, so which means that for unity power factor, so Q2 equal to 0. Q2 equal to 0 according to the power triangle. Okay, so QC must be equal to Q1 minus Q2. So we found that our QC equal to Q1. Okay, for unity power factor. Okay, therefore we require reactive power from shunt capacitor equal to reactive power for shunt capacitor equal to minus J 160 kilovolt ampere. Okay, this is a complex power of the shunt capacitor. Okay, so now you have a QC equal to 160, so you can determine the value of shunt capacitor. What is the value of C? Okay, now you have a QC equal to 160 kilovolt ampere, so you can determine C according to this formula. Okay, kita dah derive sebelum ni. C equal to QC over omega VRMS square. Okay, you have a QC, you have a voltage, and then you have omega, you can determine C. Okay, this is the power triangle. Okay, this is Q1, so we add a QC, the red one adalah QC, so our Q2 becomes 0 so angle theta 2 equal to 0 means power factor equal to unity, because cos 0 equal to 1. Power factor equal to 1, we call it unity power factor. Okay, that's number 2. So number 3, the value of supply current determine the value of supply current at unity power factor. Okay, look at to do this circuit. Okay, once you connected shunt capacitor, or we call it a reactive load, in parallel with the original load, so the total complex power supplied by the source equal to total of the complex power from the load Okay, S supply equal to SC plus SL. Okay, this is a SC, this is a SL. Okay, plus SC, this is a SC minus J 160 kilo VAR. So our total complex power supplied by the source equal to P. Okay, this is a cancel out. This one cancel out, and then equal to 120 kilowatt. So we have S equal to 120 kilowatt. So we can determine the supply current at unity power factor. We can determine this. This is the supply current. Okay, we have a voltage, and then we have S. So we know that S equal to VRMS conjugate. So we have a S, and then we have V, so we can determine current. So current equal to 200 angle 0. Okay, so, kalau kita convert conjugate 0 kepada non conjugate, still lagi sama dengan angle 0. So ini adalah kita punya current. Okay, so Kita boleh nampak tak? Kita punya current reduce kepada 200. Sebelum ni kita punya current berapa? 333. Without shunt capacitor, okay, kita punya current adalah 300 lebih. Once kita dah improve power factor dengan cara kita tambah reactive load in parallel dengan kita punya load, so kita punya current yang generator perlu supply jadi 200, reduce. Okay, so apa kelebihan dia? What is the advantage of power factor correction? Okay, thus by correcting the load power factor, we have managed to deliver the active power required by the load. Okay, kita tak kacau kan? Kita still lagi maintain deliver the active power. Okay, and then at the same time significantly reduce the supply current. Apa kelebihan kalau kita reduce supply current? Apabila current rendah, so kita boleh reduce size of cable. Lagi jimat lah kalau kita berjaya reduce size cable, lagi jimat, lagi untung. Okay. And then the rating of the generator for the power factor corrected load. Okay, kita dah improve power factor, so rating of the generator kita juga reduce. Okay, juga reduce. S equal to VRMS times IRMS. 120 kilovolt ampere. Ini adalah rating kita punya generator. Okay, dalam dia punya unit adalah VA rating. Kita panggil apparent power. Okay, reduce. Okay, sebelum ni kalau kita tak tambah kita punya kita tak improve power factor, berapa rating VA of the generator kita sebelum ni adalah 200. Adalah 200 lah. So kita dah improve power factor, so rating kita dah jadi 120, lagi kecil. Apabila rating generator kita lagi rendah, so cost untuk beli generator tu lagi murah, lagi jimat lah. Tu kelebihan dia. Okay, itu adalah example ya, contoh power factor correction. Okay, next we look at to the, I think this is the last example last example untuk power factor correction. If I'm not mistaken, this is the last example. Okay, when connected to a 120 volt RMS 60 Hz power line, a load absorbed 4 kilowatt at lagging power factor 0.8. Okay, we have a source. Okay, and then connected to the load, P equal to 4 kilowatt and power factor equal to 0.8 lagging power factor. So the question is, find the value of capacitance necessary to raise the power factor to 0.5. Okay, maksudnya apa? Sekarang ni kita punya power factor kita adalah 0.8 lagging power factor. Lagging maksudnya inductive load. Okay, kalau in practical, kalau 0.8 lagging power factor akan kena penalty atau charge tambahan daripada TNB. So macam mana kita nak atasi? Kita kena improve kita punya power factor. Let's say lagi baik kalau kita dapat improve kepada close to 1 lah. Lagi bagus lah. Close to 1 maksudnya kita punya load adalah P sahaja ataupun R sahaja. Kita dah compensate dengan shunt capacitor. So let's say kita nak naikkan kita punya power factor kepada 0.95, which is close to 1. For example lah. Okay. Okay, so berapa nilai C yang kita perlu tambah? Ni question dia. Okay. Macam mana nak kira? So apa yang kita perlu buat adalah kita tengok kita punya initial condition power factor kita 0.8. Apabila 0.8, power factor 1 equal to 0.8. So theta 1 equal to 36.87. Kita draw dia punya power triangle. Kita ada P. Okay, dan kita draw dia punya theta 1. Kita dapat S1 dengan Q1. S1 dengan Q1. Kita boleh determine lah sebab kita dah ada theta. Okay, P dah diberi. Okay, so you can determine S1 and then you can determine Q1 according to the power triangle lah. Okay, for example, from power factor and P, we can determine apparent power because we know that P over S, okay, P bahagi dengan S1 equal to cos theta 1. So, kita nak determine apparent power, S1 equal to P1 divided by cos theta 1. According to the trigonometric punya konsep lah. Okay, kita dah dapat S1. And then kita boleh determine reactive power Q1. Okay, this is Q. Okay, let's say Q according to the power triangle, Q1 equal to S1 because sin theta 1 equal to Q divided by S1. Okay, in order to determine Q equal to sin S1 sin theta 1, so you dapat Q. Okay, dah dapat dah. Dah ada P, ada theta, determine Q and S. Okay, next kita nak increase kepada power factor 0.8. 0.8 berapa theta dia? Yang ni theta yang kedua. Okay, power factor equal to cos theta. Power factor 2 equal to cos theta 2. So theta equal to 18.19. Okay, kita nak tambah C ya. Apa nilai C yang kita perlu tambah? Okay, kita tengok dia punya theta 2. Theta 2 makin menurun. Okay, daripada berapa tadi? Daripada 36.87 dah menurun kepada 18.19. Okay, P dia tak berubah sebab kita tak tambah nilai P, kita tambah nilai Q sahaja. Okay, so kita punya Q kita menurun kepada Q2. So kita daripada sini, daripada power triangle ni kita boleh determine S2. Okay, kita boleh determine S2. Okay, dia kata, dah beritahu real power has not changed. Okay, sebab kita tambah C je. Sebab the apparent power has changed. S2 equal to P divided by cos theta 2. Okay, daripada power triangle. And then new reactive power, you can determine new reactive power equal to Q2 sin 2 theta 2. According to this power triangle. Okay, dah dapat S2 dengan Q2. Okay. So, berapa nilai QC yang perlu tambah? QC kat sini adalah perbezaan antara Q1 minus Q2. So, QC equal to Q1 minus Q2. Q1 minus Q2. Okay, once dah dapat QC, then you can determine nilai C. Capacitor. Okay, because QC equal to VRMS square divided by XC. So, XC equal to 1 over omega C. Okay, solve this typical equation, then you can determine C. So nilai C adalah 310.50 microfarad. Okay. So saya rasa itu saja untuk perbincangan kita kali ini dalam video ni. So apa yang kita belajar hari ini dalam video ni saya akan conclude. Untuk chapter ni kita belajar berkenaan dengan complex power. Okay, iaitu S, okay, P plus JQ ataupun VRMS times IRMS conjugate. Yang ni penting kita kena ingat. Okay, ni dalam bentuk polar form. Okay, dalam bentuk polar form. And then daripada power triangle, daripada power triangle, let's say we have power triangle for example, kita ada P and Q. So kat sini adalah kita punya S, apparent power. So apparent power adalah sama dengan magnitude of complex power. Ni summary untuk chapter ni. Okay, equal to VRMS. This is a magnitude VRMS times magnitude of IRMS. Okay, kalau dalam dekat power triangle, dia punya S kat sini. So kita determine magnitude of the complex power triangle. Okay. Okay, yang ni adalah real power. Okay, S cos theta. Reactive power S sin theta dan power factor adalah cos theta. Okay, theta pun maksud theta, ni adalah theta. Okay, ataupun maksud dia adalah the different angle between voltage and current. Okay, saya rasa itu saja untuk kuliah kita pada minggu ni. So, ni adalah summary yang kamu kena tahu ataupun yang kamu kena conclude untuk chapter ni. So, saya rasa itu saja untuk kuliah kita bagi chapter 5 iaitu AC Power Analysis. So, saya rasa sekian sahaja daripada saya. Okay, saya harap kamu boleh follow, kamu boleh faham. Kalau tak faham, insyaAllah boleh tanya saya melalui WhatsApp ataupun melalui group WhatsApp ataupun personal WhatsApp. Okay, okay, so itu saja. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.